Leopold II was born on April 9, 1835, into a world of opulence and power. His father, Leopold I, was the first king of the Belgians. His mother, Queen Louise Marie, was of French royal descent. Even from a young age, it was clear that Leopold was born to wear a crown. He was a lively child, with a mind as quick as a whip and a will that was just as strong. His childhood was not all play and laughter, though. As the eldest son, Leopold II was groomed for leadership from a very young age. His education was rigorous and demanding. He was taught by the best tutors money could buy, learning about politics, languages, and the military. But what truly interested Leopold was power, the art of leadership, and the concept of empire. This interest, combined with his natural drive and ambition, would set the stage for his future reign. During this period, Belgium was a young country, having gained independence from the Netherlands only a few years before Leopold's birth. It was a small nation, overshadowed by the great powers of Europe. But Leopold II dreamed of making Belgium a power to be reckoned with, of expanding its reach and influence. When Leopold II was just 30 years old, his father, King Leopold I, passed away, and Leopold ascended to the throne of Belgium in 1865. Young, ambitious, and determined, the new king was ready to shape Belgium into the great power he believed it could be. In Leopold's mind, the key to becoming a great power was owning vast territories and resources overseas. In other words, he dreamed of building an empire. However, Belgium was a small, young nation without colonies of its own. This reality did little to deter Leopold. Rather, it fueled his ambitions. He once famously said, "Small nations must earn their respect, and Belgium will do so." Leopold sought to gain a colony in the only way he knew, through diplomatic maneuvers. He dispatched explorers and diplomats to potential colonial regions, especially Africa, which was then largely unexplored by Europeans. Yet, his initial efforts were met with resistance both from the Belgian government and the international community. Belgium, a young nation still finding its place in the world, was not ready to embark on risky colonial ventures. But Leopold II was not one to be easily discouraged. Faced with the reluctance of his own government, he decided to pursue his colonial dreams as a private citizen. His focus turned to the heart of Africa, a land rich in untapped resources, and one that could give Belgium the international standing he so craved. This decision would lead to a chapter of history that still evokes strong emotions and debates to this day. By the 1880s, Europe was gripped by what historians call the scramble for Africa. European powers were rushing to claim uncharted territories on the African continent. The largely unexplored heart of Africa, the Congo Basin, caught Leopold's eye. Seeing an opportunity to realize his colonial ambitions, Leopold sponsored explorations and humanitarian missions to the region. Behind these seemingly altruistic ventures, Leopold had a clear goal. He aimed to secure recognition of his personal control over the vast territory of the Congo Basin. To achieve this, he used diplomacy, persuasion, and even deception. In 1885, his efforts bore fruit. At the Berlin Conference, a meeting of European powers to discuss the partitioning of Africa, Leopold II secured international recognition for his claims. The Congo Free State was born, not as a colony of Belgium, but as the personal property of King Leopold II. This enormous territory, almost 80 times the size of Belgium, was now under his personal control. However, beneath the veneer of this grand achievement, darker realities lurked. Leopold II presented the Congo Free State as a humanitarian and civilizing mission, but his real intentions were driven by economic and political ambitions. He aimed to exploit the Congo's natural resources, particularly its rich supply of ivory and later, rubber. Under Leopold's rule, the Congo Free State was transformed into a massive labor camp. The local population was put to work harvesting ivory and, later, rubber. The methods used to enforce labor and collect these resources were brutal. The Force Publique, a militia created by Leopold, was notorious for its harsh tactics, including forced labor, kidnapping of family members, and physical punishments. Leopold's regime of terror had profound impacts on the Congolese people. The local population decreased significantly due to disease, famine, and violence, with estimates of the death toll ranging from several millions to even more. Meanwhile, back in Europe, Leopold managed to keep the reality of the Congo Free State hidden from the public eye for a considerable time. The king portrayed his venture in Africa as a noble mission, a humanitarian effort aimed at civilizing and educating the Congolese people. However, as time passed, the truth started to leak out. Whistleblowers, including former employees of the Congo Free State, began to reveal the horrific reality of life under Leopold's rule. The stories of brutality and exploitation triggered an international outcry. This led to one of the first major human rights movements in the 20th century, aiming to expose and end the atrocities happening in the Congo Free State. The exposure of the abuses in the Congo Free State ignited a wave of international outrage. The outcry grew so loud that even the Belgian government, which had long turned a blind eye to Leopold's activities in Africa, could no longer ignore the situation. Faced with mounting pressure, in 1908, the Belgian government forced Leopold to cede control of the Congo Free State, which then became the Belgian Congo. Despite this significant blow to his power and reputation, Leopold never faced personal consequences for the atrocities committed under his rule. He died in 1909, a year after losing his beloved Congo, without ever setting foot in the territory he had controlled so brutally. The effects of Leopold's rule, however, were far from over. His exploitative policies left the Congo region devastated, its people traumatized, and its resources depleted. The legacy of his rule continued to be felt long after his death, contributing to the political, social, and economic instability that plagued the region throughout the 20th century. In Belgium, Leopold II is remembered with a mixture of pride and shame. His reign saw Belgium transform from a small European nation to a player on the global stage. Yet, this success was built on the suffering and exploitation of the Congolese people. King Leopold II's story is a stark reminder of the immense power individuals can wield, and the profound impact their actions can have, for better or worse. It encourages us to remember that history is not just about the winners, the kings, or the conquerors. It's also about those who suffered, the voiceless, and the oppressed.